come on in. Let's do a 1-year post-renovation home tour. Show you guys, I think it's been a couple months since we've done any sort of tour. And we've made a lot of progress in the past year. We, if you remember, moved here in July-ish 2024. We had bought this house in August 2023 and spent like a good 8 or 9 months renovating it. So let's start out with the foyer. I have the checkerboard tile floor that we have loved over the past year. We had a really rough winter here, like a ton of snow, and this area was hardwood originally and has gotten really worn right here just from all the wear and tear of the elements and people tracking stuff in. So I'm really pleased with this. I would still really recommend it. It's a porcelain floor. I think unfortunately they have discontinued one of these shades, but one of them is still up for grabs, and I think they came out with some new shades as well. I don't remember if the chandelier was hung the last tour that we did, but we finally got it hung up, and I love it. If you remember, we found this on Facebook Marketplace, and I think one of the challenges with the crystal chandeliers is often how do you clean one of these things. So we had our electrician install a lift, and I think I have a video of that whole process, but it does lower really nicely and we can clean it pretty darn easily. Very pleased with it. Also hung up some plates here in the foyer, kind of exploring new ways to do plate walls. In the past I've just done a lot of like blue and white plates, but I'm really into mixing the patterns and mixing the colors. I think it's a little bit more of a modern take on it. This is an area that maybe we will renovate this year. So this is like the original cabinetry from the previous owner. I don't know, right now we're just decorating it and using it as a place for family photos. But I could see us maybe maximizing that a little bit more, maybe with all cabinets. Right now I'm just storing like our board games and kids' craft stuff at the bottom of it. It's needed. Okay, let's go into my living room over here. So this is one that we installed all new hardwood floors. Stain on our floor is provincial, and I recently got this rug, like literally yesterday, I think, maybe the day before. This is from Ruggable, and I'm super pleased with it. And I think this is what this room was missing. So our walls are white Swiss coffee. When I moved in, I was really wanting to color drench and bring more color into my home, but I can't shake Swiss coffee. It just is such a nice, warm and cozy white. And I figured if I can just have the walls white, then I can bring in color with other elements. So we have our white couch. I actually got this from Pottery Barn. This was the floor model. So we got a great deal on this. These are my Jillian Harbor pillows, the Camille and the Greenwich. And then I found this at a local consignment store. It's a Degas reproduction. Again, over here, kind of playing with different ways of hanging and displaying my plates. Oyster plates are from France. And then I don't know where those purple ones are from, but I love those. And just little tiny orchids from Trader Joe's in front of them. God, this is my new Picasso print. This is an actual lithograph that I love. And let's see, this desk we got, I can't remember if I showed you this. I got this from a guy in Newport News who was clearing out his friend's house who had just passed away. I think he was getting ready to have an estate sale, but was listing some things online ahead of time. I got it for like $75. I'm obsessed. It is such a beautiful piece, and I love when I buy those things and have those stories. I love to think of those people every time I sit down at it. It's just a really nice piece that I was lucky to get. This is my little 32-inch frame TV. This thing is so cute. It's just darling. I love, I don't watch a ton of television. I watch YouTube on TV, but I do want one. I just didn't want it to overwhelm the space, right? I didn't want it bigger than my artwork. So 32-inch, perfect size for it. Also love that little frame. Another thing we added in here, we get a lot of afternoon sun. We have these automatic blinds that go up and down on timers, but they also come with a little handy dandy remote. And so that's a nice way of gaining some privacy and also keeping it cooler in here in the summer months. It gets really hot. All right, let's go on here to the kitchen. Let's go on to the kitchen. So this is our IKEA kitchen. Gotten a lot of good feedback from y'all, a lot of questions, a lot of you wondering about IKEA kitchens. We love ours. We're a year in with this one. I will put the name of it because I cannot remember it. It starts with an F, Farron, Stalin, something like that. And we were really loving it. Everything is held up so nicely. These are my unlacquered brass knobs and handles. All I do is I polish them every once in a while with some Barkeeper's Friend. And our appliances, we are loving them. They're from Z-Line. I love that they look so integrated with our cabinetry. People are always like, wait, where's your dishwasher? Where's everything? It just feels so cohesive in here. I'm still loving my no upper cabinets. I have no complaints about that. I still have room in the lower drawers. I love that it gives me the freedom to change things up. I love change. I love changing things over with the seasons. If I love a new piece of art, I love that I have a place for it at all times to hang. And I don't even have to put a nail on the wall. I can just lean it up against that. Over here, this is where our refrigerator is. And this little bay area window situation. And then here is our DIY wine cabinet. Sometimes people kind of wonder where that is in relation to our kitchen. This actually was the pantry for the kitchen before we renovated it. If you see that beam on the ceiling, that was a wall, and everything over this way was the kitchen, and everything past it was the dining room. So this was the original pantry for the kitchen. So what we used here is some walnut plywood to wrap the pantry walls, and then we used these walnut floorboards to make the shelves along with some brass rail. So I love how this turned out. It's a great entertaining space. Even over here too, I'll do like a champagne bucket over here for entertaining, and it's a nice little gathering space that still feels really nice and open. All right, let me show you the scullery, which is also I don't know if people kind of love it to hate it. I don't know. Oh, we got some snacks in here. Hold on. Okay, here is, let me show you our scullery. So this is a wall that we built, and then we put pocket doors on the inside. And then back here is like our pantry. This is where we keep all of our food. Our cereals down here. We make coffee here in the morning. We have our air fryer, an espresso drip coffee, a beer draft machine. I've got my Ninja Creamy, my margarita machine. I love a good small appliance. This is also really handy if you have like guests over and you want to just put your dirty dishes somewhere. We have the sink for that, and we also have this little Z-Line dishwasher here. That's great for some spillover dirty dishes. Then I added these, I call them my budjas, which is a term my grandmother used for cabinets. And this holds things for entertaining, like extra candles, extra coffee mugs, linens, cocktail napkins. And then we have another one over here for like our can opener, my hot water kettle. So this ideally is just a place to have all those small appliances that we use every day. But we also have like our trash can. We've cleared off the top before if we're using it for catering. We've had set up catering down here or on here. And I love it. You can just kind of close off your mess. You know, half the time there's a bunch of empty cardboard boxes back here. There you go. Okay, let's go into my husband's den. All right, so this is my husband's den. We painted this over, I think, the winter. This really pretty shade of blue. This is Farrow and Ball Light Blue. I love this color. It's very muted. It is like a bluish gray, but in some lights it almost looks green. It kind of changes colors throughout the day. It's a really, really pretty shade. And here we did seating on a super comfortable couch. This is a down feather couch. And we love watching movies in here. My husband loves watching sports in here. And these swivel chairs, I got them almost as soon as we moved in. They're from Walmart. And they are really, really great. The upholstery has held up. Everything is slip covered and you can throw it in the wash. Really, really nice and super affordable. The mantle, so this was a project we did, I think, over like Christmas. This one had no mantle. This was a fireplace and it was like super high. So my husband chipped away like 3 rows of bricks, and then we designed together the mantle surround. I think it turned out so beautifully. We also color drenched it, so we did the same color as the walls on the mantle, and I think it just gives it a really nice colonial look. Our TV here is a frame TV. I don't even know the size of this thing, but it's really big. He loves it for sports. We watch movies on it. I love that it looks so nice and artistic. And then he actually built the frame for it. I will get him to do a tutorial because everybody wants to know, and we saved so much money because those frames are not cheap. So that was a great little DIY. Okay, and then let's round it out in the dining room. So the dining room was another project we did over the winter. We installed this mural wallpaper, and I have a video tutorial on how to do all of it. Don't be afraid of it. It was actually one of the easier wallpaper jobs that we've ever done before. You can work with the designer. She will help you with all of the dimensions, and it comes in these wide sheets. So if you've ever hung regular wallpaper, you know you're kind of working with like a 24, maybe 30-inch wide panel. This one, the panels were much wider. Like for instance, this is all one panel right here. So you start in one corner and you just kind of work your way around, and she has everything numbered. So it's super, super easy. I think it only took us a day, maybe 2 at the most. Another project that we did recently, we just finished this like a week or 2 ago, is we used the same kitchen cabinetry to create a dining room buffet. If you remember, this was actually a bedroom. So this was the bedroom closet. These walls were all closed off and there was just a bedroom door in here. So we started out really with this room by opening up both of these walls so that you can have beautiful sight lines through the house and also let all of this great afternoon sun come through this house. So that's kind of where we started, and then we did the wallpaper, and then we recently rounded it out with this this buffet over here. We chose marble for it, a nice beautiful Carrara marble to go along with our marble dining room table. This took like 5 months to get here. We had one that arrived but was broken, so then we had to be put on a wait list for the next round. But it was worth the wait. I'm really pleased with it. I did find these chairs that go pretty nicely with it at our neighborhood garage sale, and it couldn't have been better. I was having a really hard time finding dining room chairs that I wanted, but these are great. I think a project down the line is probably to get them reupholstered, just kind of trying to settle on print versus solid. I'm kind of thinking maybe like a dusty blue gray for them. All right, well that pretty much brings us full circle. We've done the loop. Thank you so much for watching our downstairs 1-year progress tour. I think you probably see where we've made some progress and then also some potential future projects. So be sure to follow and subscribe so you can watch the transformation unfold here over the next year. And thank you so much. We hope to catch up with you soon.